Yo, what's up guys, it's Tom. Welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new series and the return of career mode on my channel for season 3, and we have some big news and some big changes for this season. So first of all, jumping straight into it, if we can hit 150 likes on this video guys, and I'll get the next episode out tomorrow for you. So let's try and smash that target, and we're now going to jump straight into the preseason stuff and see what's been going on over the winter. So first of all, this season will be a shorter season due to obviously the F1 2017 game coming out in a short period of time, about a month's time from now. So the season's going to be 15 races instead of 21, and the calendar will be on screen right now for you guys to see, and hopefully you do like the races I've selected for this season. But overall, we're going to jump straight into preseason testing, and we're going to kick it off with the defending champions, Red Bull Racing. As you can see, a brand new driver lineup of Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz due to Daniel Ricciardo departing the team, moving to pastures new after outgrowing the Red Bull team. Red Bull looking to defend their crown from last season in the 2018 season, and their car is looking absolutely beautiful, and they're looking very quick and on the pace. However, they're not alone, because Ferrari are looking very close to them on net pace, and also Mercedes, who have found a bit of time and have recovered a bit of form over the winter, and they could well be the team to beat once again in Formula 1. As you can see, Ferrari now, the partnership with Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo, a brand new partnership in Ferrari after what happened last season with Tony Martinez and Kimi Raikkonen falling out in the Singapore Grand Prix, and Arriva Bene saying that they would bring in a fresh lineup, and that is indeed what they've done, rehiring Sebastian Vettel and getting fresh blood in with Daniel Ricciardo there. So a big signing from the Maranello team to really make a statement that they want to get right back on the right track and try and win that World Drivers and Constructors Championship there. But now Mercedes, obviously, new lineup. Nico Rosberg retires from the sport. Valtteri Bottas takes his place due to the contacts that he has with Toto Wolff in the Mercedes brand. So as you can see, Lewis Hamilton and Bottas will be piloting the Mercedes, and it's an absolutely beautiful car, brand new paint job on the car this year, just to really freshen things up. And these three cars are going to be the three cars to beat this season, with Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull so close for pace on track, and it's going to be a proper tasty battle. Now, in terms of best of the rest, jumping straight into it with Force 1, the rebranded Force India team now, joined with their brand new sponsorship with BWT, the water company, and they've basically rebranded their entire team name to Force 1, and their drivers are the experienced Sergio Perez, and they've drafted in the brand new rookie Felix Rosenqvist, who obviously is very well proven and a very good driver in other categories. So this is going to be a brand new step for him in terms of motorsport, and he's very much looking forward to it. Now, moving to the next team, Scuderia Toro Rosso, Danny Kvyat stays as the experienced driver in the team, now joined by the brand new and rookie Pierre Gasly, looking to make an impact in Formula 1 in his debut season. Toro Rosso looking fairly promising in pre-season, though not as good as he did last season. Now moving to Haas Monster Racing, a brand new rebrand for the Haas team, striking a major money deal with the energy drink Monster, and spearheading their driver lineup is going to be Roman Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen, exactly the same as the 2017 season, but they've got a lot more funds behind them now with the Monster Energy backing, so hopefully they can try and make some serious inroads and try and crack into the upper midfield and maybe even the top teams, who knows. But Haas, a big sponsorship deal there to try and boost their income and try and get themselves further up the grid. Now moving to Williams, brand new lick of paint on the car, rocking a sort of darker shade of blue with Felipe Massa at the wheel as the experienced driver, joined by brand new rookie Lance Stroll as his teammate for the 2018 season. So a few new drivers here and there, a few new rookies here and there, so it's going to be just interesting to see who comes out on top. But Felipe Massa, obviously a veteran now in the sport, and you have to wonder where Williams will feed right now. Based on preseason testing, they look right in the mix there with the top of three teams, just slightly behind them. But moving into this team now, McLaren Honda, a very interesting lineup here, and Fernando Alonso has departed the team, and that's left a space to fill, and McLaren decided to cash in on the French youngster who was really impressing in the name of Esteban Ocon, and joining him will be obviously the returning Stoffel Van Dorn, who's now no longer a rookie in the sport. And McLaren are looking to really make a stride up the field with a brand new radical chassis on the car and a much improved Honda power unit. Moving now on to a brand new team, my team, Tony Martinez alongside Fernando Alonso in Audi, to make one of the most lucrative driver lineups for the 2018 season. Audi looking to jump straight into the deep end with this new car, new own power unit for the sport, and they're looking to really try and make an impact. Preseason tests show that they are severely down on power, especially in straight lines. However, their car is pretty good through the corners, so it's going to be a bit of a defense job, and hopefully Audi can bring some engine upgrades throughout the season to try and improve, especially that straight line speed, that deficit that the Audi power unit does produce. So overall, one of the most exciting driver lineups on the grid for a brand new fresh team in Formula 1. And talking of new teams, we have Prema, the Ferrari B team, officially announced with Charles Leclerc and Mick Schumacher at the wheel of the Italian team. A very, very exciting young lineup here with these two drivers who are hungry for a bite of the cherry in Formula 1, and you have to wonder how well will these two fare in the world of Formula 1 under a new team with a fresh budget and also backing from the Works Ferrari team, which is going to be very, very interesting. So we'll have to see how Prema fare, basically replacing Haas in terms of Ferrari's backup team, as now Haas are basically independent with the Monster brand. So this is going to promise to be a very, very exciting deal here with Prema. And finally, we have Renault with Nico Hülkenberg at the wheel, joined by the returning Robert Kubica, who's deemed fit enough, and after a few tests is now officially up to speed, and Renault decided to sign him up for a full-time drive back in the 2017 season, 6 years after originally suffering a severe accident. So it's going to be a big, big coup for Renault. They're looking to make a big jump up the grid after they finished last in the Constructors last season. So Renault really need a big boost in terms of also cash and also results. So it's going to be a very interesting season. That's going to be your entire grid for the 2018 season here, and it's looking very tasty with a few new returning names and a few fresh rookie debutants and a few new teams to really make the things interesting, and also the battle for first place as tight as it could possibly be between the three big teams. So right now things are looking very tasty, but we're now going to go straight down under to Australia for qualifying for the first race of the season in 2018 for season 3 of career mode. So straight into qualifying we go for Australia for the first qualifying session of the season, and it was wet conditions, intermediate conditions to be more precise, and I was trying to get straight down to business here, trying to get a feel for the car, trying to make sure my setup was okay. Luckily in the wet conditions the straight line speed deficit from the power unit goes straight out the window because of the conditions. Obviously they sort of balance themselves out a little bit more, so that's going to give me a bit of a level playing field and a bit of a better chance to get a better qualifying position. But right now I'm setting a few lap times, I've gone over a bit of fuel in the car, and I'm just trying to set a few laps to try and constantly chip away at my lap time, try and knock off some time and try and see if I can improve bit by bit. And eventually I was getting better and better and faster and somewhat competitive, and I actually cracked into the top 5 a couple of times, even as high as P4 as you can see right there. But I'm going to now show you my best lap in the session in 4, as you can see now, making our way down the pit straight. 4th gear for turn 1, both in dry and wet conditions, personal preference of mine. Making sure you avoid the curb on the left hand side, and then trying to get the best possible traction on the exit of turn 2. Currently we're down in our delta, a bit of a scruffy exit out of turn 2 from me there, as we now go into turn 3. 3rd gear corner, possibly 2nd, I prefer 3rd. Trying to pick up the apex, and then flicking it left for turn 4. 4th gear possibly if you want to use it. I like 4th in the dry, 3rd in the wet, and now almost flat out through turn 5. A little bit of a lift, maybe a downshift if possible in the wet conditions, and now make our way up to turn 6 where the first sector split is, and we're currently still down on our delta as we now pick up the traction, going through 7 that feeds into 8, which is one of them corners where you can go flat out, but you've got to do a little bit of counter steering to make sure you keep the car facing the right way. As we now go into turn 9, 3rd gear corner, just getting up on the delta there slightly, so nice and late on the brakes as we go through 10, getting the traction onto the back straight. And right now we're neck and neck with the delta, and we're coming up to the second sector split, and so far that's been pretty okay, but we're still down, so we need to try and find some time now through the chicanes of 11 and 12 here, and a nice bit of speed on the exit helps me to actually get ahead of my delta there. So a nice run through the chicane and out of it as we now go into turn 14, I believe, is right hand, almost like a 90-degree corner, trying to pick up the traction on the exit. Nice bit of traction even though I got on the curb, and now through turn 15, running a little bit wide there, just getting on the curb slightly, now slowing it down for the penultimate corner of 16, 2nd gear corner, and then you've got one more corner to negotiate, and that's the final one. Short shift in the 3rd, and then maybe even 4th if possible, and getting the power on out the final corner. No DRS because it's wet conditions, so you just run it to the line. We're currently up on our lap time, and what's it going to be? P6. So there you go, P6 by improving on our lap time, and that is going to be my best lap of the session. And now we have to wait and see where exactly I'll finish once the session ends, and as you can see it is P7 there. I do want to note that was a short qualifying session and not Q1, Q2, Q3, because I'm trying to make this series a bit different, trying to change the format and also make it more efficient time wise. So as you can see, P7 in qualifying, just behind Fernando Alonso. So Alonso at qualifying me in the first qualifying session of the season with the Mercedes 1-2 up the sharp end, and then both of the Red Bulls also just ahead of the Audis there. But nevertheless, it's been a good qualifying session, and we're now going to move into the race. Right, so here we are, we're on the grid at Melbourne, and finally, after a long wait, my Season 3 of Career Mode is finally going to begin here for the Audi team, and we had a lot of niggling issues, but finally we're here, the whole grid's modded up, the whole series is modded up, and it's going to be a very, very good season. And qualifying, as you saw, not too shabby, P7, and Alonso just getting the measure of me in the wet conditions. And I've got to say, I'm really enjoying this modding because right now I'm right on the limit with this car, and I literally could not find much more time, and Alonso just pit me, so it's genuinely really, really close on track right now, and the rivalry is really intense, which is great to see. But we got P7 today on the grid, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to the start of this race. If you guys are excited, let's see if we can try and smash 150 likes on this video. I want to challenge you guys to really push it hard today, but let's see how this season unfolds. If we hit 150 likes, there'll be another episode tomorrow, so that's what we're going to do. This is going to be the Australian Grand Prix. We're going to quickly have a look at the race strategy today, and as you can see, it's a one-stop, which we're going to try and go for, because my pace is decent, but it's not brilliant. If I want to crack into that top 6, I really need to have a bit of a ballsy strategy, and that's exactly what I'm going to try and do with this one stop. So we're going to start on the soft tyre, try and really get that tyre life out and really drag it out, and then switch over to the medium and try and get that to the end of the race. So hopefully it can work for us, and hopefully we can have a good race and try and get some points in our debut race for the Audi team. Obviously, a lot of you guys said you didn't want to see Audi as the most dominant team straight off the bat, so I've decided to make it a sort of up-running midfield slash lower end top team, and right in the middle to bridge that gap. So hopefully that's exactly what we get, and I can try and push for maybe a top 6 finish. But overall, that has been the introduction out of the way, and we're now going to jump straight into the first race of the season at Australia. Right then, here we go, the 5 red lights for the first race of the season here in 2018, and it's lights out, and away we go. Let's try and get a good start off the line here. Not the best starts of all. Alonso had a pretty damn good start in their medium tyres. I'm going to get overtaken left, right and centre by various cars. We got Williams on our outside, Ferrari on our inside. A little bit of contact there with Daniel Ricciardo, who's obviously fighting hard in his home race. He's on a super soft tyre. I'm going to get a good run. We've got Robert Kubica behind us in the Renault there, trying to make a move. I'm going to get really, really tightly boxed in here. Can I go around the outside of Ricciardo at turn 3? It's going to be a very tight squeeze. We've made it work though. Lance Stroll's had an incredible start up into P7, and so far so good, as I'm back down to P8, but so far pretty good start, and could have been a hell of a lot worse as Ricciardo now is sizing me up for a possible move. I'm just going to take a defensive line. This Audi isn't fast in a straight line. The Audi power unit is pretty poor in straights, so we need to try and defend ourselves however we possibly can. So right now, let's try and get into a rhythm, try and catch up to the little pack of cars ahead of us and not let them get away. Especially we need to get ahead of Alonso and Stroll so we can keep up with the front guys. But here we go, Ricciardo's going to look for the inside line. The Ferrari is very quick in a straight line, and I'm not so quick. As Stroll also goes around the outside of Alonso, I'm going to go around the outside of Ricciardo. As you can see, both Audis under pressure in this early phase of the Grand Prix. I've caught the corner a little bit there, but I've got a good run on Alonso. He's just boxed me in though. Ricciardo's going to go to the outside instead. A little bit of contact, scruffy first lap here, but I'm going to go up the inside of Alonso. A little bit of contact, but I've got the move on my teammate. Shut the door on him, and there we go. We've got up into 7th place, and we can now try and chase after Lance Stroll, but we're going to struggle down this pit straight. So let's see if we can just get a good final corner underneath us to try and put some distance between myself and Fernando. I think that's exactly what I've done, and we've got a bit of a gap now to Alonso. Let's try and focus now on what's ahead of us and not what's behind us. Okay, on to lap number 3. Ricciardo's going to be all over the back of me onto this second straight. DRS is now enabled, but he won't have DRS just yet because this is a double DRS zone, so he'll have DRS on the next lap to try and get past me. But right now, I'm going to be a sitting duck in this straight line as Ricciardo pulls to the inside, and I think I'm going to let him go because I'm doing a different race to Ricciardo, so I'm just going to let him take the position for now because I need to try and follow him if possible and try and do my own race. So let's try and follow Ricciardo here in his home race, and he has some pretty good pace on them super soft, so let's just follow him for a little bit, use a little bit of DRS if we need to stay with him and try and hopefully get up to the back of Lance Stroll. This pack of cars up ahead has just started to bunch up quite severely. They're squabbling for position really, really hard up ahead, and could get pretty tasty as they go. Some of them going 3-1 into this next corner. Ricciardo's right at the back of it. I've had a great exit through there, and I'm just going to try and get my way through as I got the inside of Ricciardo here. And the Red Bulls, the Ferraris and the Mercedes are so close for pace. They're so evenly matched now this season, and it's going to be such a hard battle to see who comes out on top. But I've gone up the inside of Ricciardo out the final corner, open up the DRS, and there we go, retaken P7, and we've now got a chance of getting a few places here as we're right in the mix of this train of cars. So let's try and stick with them, especially with someone like Stroll, who is doing a really impressive job here in P6 in Williams. Who the Williams car, a much improved package, this car compared to last season. Definitely going to be trying to push the top teams this season, try and break it in there as one of the top teams of their own. But here we go then, we've got a little bit of a lock up there from Stroll, I think, which is going to allow me to get up the inside of him and make the move. I'm just going to try and squat the power on, and I've just managed to outpower him and get past. A little bit of a corner cut there, but we're up into P6 now, so that's pretty good to get Stroll in between myself and Ricciardo. And let's see if we can try and keep up with Vettel now up ahead and try and stay within his DRS. I'm doing a good job of keeping up with Vettel so far. I'm just starting to come into my own with this car a little bit now, just starting to get a bit of a better feel for it as we set some personal best sectors, obviously DRS assisted. But there we go, first retirement of the race. Felix Rosenqvist is out of the Grand Prix. Will that possibly trigger a safety car or a VSC? We'll have to wait and see, but I'm going to get a good run on Vettel here. I'm just going to go up the inside, and there we go, we've got past Sebastian Vettel, so a nice move there. And this car just starting to come into its own a little bit now, which is what I said before, just starting to feel pretty good out here on the circuit. And everyone around me on soft tyres, so I wonder if everyone is going for the exact same strategy of the one stop. If that's the case, there is no way we can bend this strategy to a two stop. We have to commit to the one. Meanwhile, Vettel's got DRS on me. Is he going to try and get me into turn one? Yes, he is. He's going to have a look up the inside. I'm going to try and go around the outside of him. Can we hold it? Yes, I do. Just about running a little bit wide there, but we've managed to defend. I'm going to go defensive again here to try and cover myself from Sebastian. He's going to try and look for the outside line. I'm going to hold the inside. Short shift to third. Squat the power on, and there we go. We hold on to P5, staying ahead of the prancing horse for now. We can try and get a gap out from Vettel here, try and maybe focus on Verstappen, but Vettel's going to be bloody quick behind us here, so we've got to be very careful. Right, Sebastian's going to have DRS. Is he going to go for the move into turn one? Not quite. He thought better of it, and he stayed behind me for now, but he's going to probably have a good crack of getting past me down this second straight here. I'm going to go defensive once again. Actually, no, I'm going to go to the outside because Vettel's has sort of forced his way through on my inside. I'm going to try and go around the outside of turn 3. Can I hold it? Yes, I do, and I'm still in P5, so nice defensive driving there from me, but you can really see the speed deficit I have in this Audi car in a straight line, so we've got to try and defend ourselves tooth and nail in the straight lines because I can't get the gap out to a second through the corners because the car is fast, but it's not that fast. I'm not like a top car contender yet. The upgrades will come over the season, but right now this car is pretty average. Here comes Seb again around the outside. I'm going to have to sort of force him out a little bit here as I take the inside line through the chicane, just not letting him through, and I'm holding my position proudly, but is he getting stupid at this point? Am I losing a lot of time? We'll have to wait and see, but P5 right now is good points for me and the team, so I'd love to try and bring it home in this position. Okay, so Seb's pulled into the pit lane. He's coming for his first stop of the race, possibly going for the undercut. We're going to stay out for a few more laps here to make our one-stop strategy work, because I feel like Sebastian pitting at the end of lap 10 may still be on a two-stop strategy. Here comes Lance Stroll though, meanwhile, around my outside. Can I match him on the brakes? I'm going to have the inside line. Stroll's going to go on the outside, but I've just got the measure of him on the brakes and also just taking the better racing line. But I'm starting to struggle now on these tyres a little bit. Straight on speed, like I said, is an automatic deficit, and I'm really pushing the limits of the track here. I've got two very quick Williams cars in a straight line behind me, and here comes Stroll. I'm going to let him have the inside here. Can he do it? No, not quite. As I go around the outside of him, I just defend from him and go around the outside beautifully there. And that's going to cost him a little bit of time as he trips up with his teammate, who I hope they have a little bit of an inter-team battle, and that allows me to pull away, because right now, me defending versus these two Williams is going to be a losing battle, especially once the DRS arrives. So I need to try and hope that they have a little bit of a battle. Right, here comes Lance Stroll once again. He's gone for the outside yet again. This time I'm much better on the brakes than last lap. There's no chance he's getting me around the outside there. And I'm going to hold on to my position quite comfortably here. Just, the tyres are still okay through the corners. I'm struggling a little bit on traction. I feel like the rears are going a little bit, and there you go. The rears are going a little bit more than the front tyres, but the tyres are coming towards the end of their life, and I should be pitting at the end of this lap for a set of medium tyres. Okay then, through the penultimate corner, we're going to come in for our first stop of the race here, Australia, and our first stop of the season under the new Audi pit crew. So let's see how they perform here as we get it also down for the pit entry, just about pushing the limit there, really trying to make the most possible time there in the pit entry. We've got Massa in the pit lane behind us, so it's going to be a pit stop out between Audi and Williams here in the first race of the season. So here we go, let's see what we're like. It's a 2-point, nope, we're getting held up. Massa's going to come ahead of us, great. So Audi have let us down straight away, a bit more practice needed there, boys, to try and improve, but we're going to rejoin behind Felipe here. Let's see if we can come ahead of this traffic that's coming down the pit straight now into turn 1. Let's have a look. We're going to be on our outside. It's I think it's a Prema car of Mick Schumacher up my inside. There he is. It's Mick Schumacher making a move. Also, we've got Esteban Ocon for company just behind in the McLaren Honda, the much improved McLaren Honda in terms of its straight line speed. But I'm going to just go up the inside of Mick here on the fresh tyres and make the move and hold on to my position now. It's crucial that we stick with Massa. I've got a lot of rich mix to use, so I'll be using it very soon to try and stick with the Brazilian. Okay, here we go. I'm in rich mix now. I've got DRS on Felipe Massa. The Saudi isn't great in a straight line, but with a bit of rich mixture and a little bit of DRS, it should be okay. We've got Lance Stroll exiting the pit lane. I'm going to go up the inside of Stroll's teammate Felipe up to turn 1 there. Running a little bit deep to make sure Felipe doesn't hang it around the outside. And there we go. Open up the DRS. Let Massa and Stroll battle out. We've got yellow flag at turn 1. So something's happened behind us there. I've got the braking all wrong for this corner as I've run it in way too hot as I'm paying too much attention to the mini-map. But we need to try and get away now on these tyres and make the most of the rich mixture that we have before it runs out. So let's get our foot down now and try and set some good lap times. Right, on to the start of lap 16. I'm starting to get a gap out to the Williams cars. Personal best lap of the Grand Prix. Things are looking pretty damn good so far. The pace on these mediums is pretty good and the rich mix is coming in very handy to try and get the gap out to the guys behind. Let's see now how many more inroads we can do to the guys ahead. So Robert Kubica pits, or Kubica depending on how you want to say it. He comes into the pit lane before you want to stop this race. That promotes me up into P8. Alonso's still at the pit as far as I know, so he should come up behind me unless his pace has been ridiculous on his in laps. Alonso is pitting now, so let's see where he comes out. He should be on the soft tyre because he's starting the medium, so that's going to make things very interesting in this final stint of the Grand Prix. Out the final corner, Alonso is still miles away from coming out of the pit lane, so I'm going to be ahead of him. The question is, what can he do in this final stint? He's going to be very close to them Williams is, so maybe he can have a sort of scrap with them, but I've had a really poor first corner there. I'm starting to run out of bridge mix, which is a little bit of a concern because once I run out throughout the Williams cars, we'll get onto the back of me. But right now, I'm in a solid P7, and we'll see how much further up the grid we go. Right, I'm officially now out of bridge mix. I'm running it into the negatives. However, that's a really good lap, and that's my personal best lap of the race. So the pace is getting better, and I'm still surviving on these mediums, but I'm going to have to run in standard soon to try and make it to the end on fuel. But I've still got a good bit of pace in this car, and we are catching the guys ahead slightly. Also, Alonso's run the back of the Williams cars now, so that should make things pretty interesting at the back there, and that should give me a little bit more freedom and time to try and pull away from these guys. Especially now Alonso's looking to make a move on Massa by the look of it. We've got Sebastian Vettel on the pit lane going to super soft, so he's on a 2-stop strategy, so he could make the 1-stop work. That's going to promote me up into P6, so making good progress here. And that's exactly what I was hoping for one of the big boys to maybe go into a 2-stop because they couldn't make the 1-stop work. Because that's the only way I'm going to get something out of this race. Okay then, by the look of it, I think Ricciardo also can't make the 1-stop work in the other Ferrari car, so Ferrari may be having some tyre wear issues here. And that's going to promote me up into P5 this race. And Alonso is about to overtake Lance Stroll. Alonso's catching me pretty damn quickly, and he's dragging Lance Stroll with him, which is a bit of an annoyance. So that means I'm going to have to do some defending these last few laps of the Grand Prix. My tyres are starting to fade a little bit now, and you can't forget about that man there, Sebastian Vettel, who is coming at a rate of knots on super soft tyres.
Okay, Tom, Fernando is on softs and on a different strategy. Softs, a different strategy. Please don't make the overtake hard for him, as we're currently in very good positions and we want to bring the points home. Understood?
Okay, understood.
Alright, well done. Let's follow Fernando now and get our head down.
Right, Alonso's got past me. And just, you know, following the team's orders, to be honest, because Alonso's on a better strategy, and it's true. He's on the faster tyre, he's going faster than me. There's more points up for grabs for the team, so right now it's about getting the points on the board for Audi, and right now we're in a good position. Alonso is on a better tyre, so I'm going to let him go. I'm going to try and follow him if I can, and if we can finish him in 5-6, that'd be brilliant for Audi. But I think Stroll, I think we can keep him at bay. Vettel was the main concern here, but we've got a few laps to go yet. Okay, Lance Stroll's going to have a great run on me down this back straight here. The Williams is so fast on a straight line, he's going to make the move. And there you go. I'm just going to have to sit behind him for now. Sebastian is really catching quickly, so we're going to be a 3-car scrap very soon. But look at the speed of the Williams, I can't even get past. Only on brakes can I beat Stroll, but in straight line speed, he's just an absolute animal. Okay, here we go then. We're going to be under attack by Vettel and Stroll here with DRS enabled. Can I slow it down for the apex? I've got enough tyres left to defend. And there we go, Vettel's making his way past Stroll at the moment. They're going to go side by side through turn 4, 5. I'm going to try and pull away here. Alonso's got some great pace. Those two are going side by side. A little bit of contact I thought I saw in the mirror there, but it's allowing me to pull away here. So let's just try and get my foot down. We've got 1 lap to go after this, so let's try and get the gap out as much as we can while they battle. But now Vettel, I think he's properly ahead of Stroll now. So if we finish ahead of Vettel with that'll be a massive achievement. Okay, on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Here comes Sebastian Vettel with DRS enabled. I'm going to go to the inside, squeezing as much as I can. Let's see if we can defend this position here as we go around the outside at turn 1, making the move, defending our position as hard as we possibly can with this Audi car. And looks like Vettel's not going to get a second bite of the cherry down here. And I've had a much better exit than him through turn 2. So right now we're holding our position here. We're fighting for tooth and nail for what we've got. because if we bring this car home in this position, I'll be very happy. We've had a poor exit out of there. Sebastian's going to go for the outside line on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton wins the race. Can I try and defend here at the inside of Vettel again? Going to try and fight him with tooth and nail around the outside. Can I pull it off? Yes, I can, just about. I'm going to be severely under attack here by Stroll and Vettel. I'm running really low on fuel as well. I have to short shift to try and save my fuel. Vettel's going to look around the outside. I'm going to close the door on him there. Short shifting as much as I can to save fuel on +9. It's going to be very marginal across the line, so I need to be ready for anything that could happen here. Let's go nurse it through this final couple of corners here. Try and get a good run out the final corner here. Try and pick up some traction. Hope I don't run out of fuel. Get the power on. Let's pull to the inside. Pull out of the toe. And let's try and bring it home in P6 for the Australian Grand Prix. And there we go. What a result. P5 Alonso, P6 myself. And that is a great double points finish for the Audi team there. And I'm very, very happy with that result for us. And that is a great, great result as a team. And overall, that's going to really help us in the championship straight off the bat there. And hopefully we can have some upgrades coming very soon to try and improve at least our straight line speed in this particular this particular car, because we are struggling quite severely in the straight line speed department, and without that straight line speed we're not going nowhere, and we're not going to crack into the top echelons of the best teams in this current grid. So we really need to try and find some improvements very, very quickly back in the factory. And as you can see, looking at the other race results, we've got Lewis Hamilton obviously winning, with Carlos Sainz in his debut race for Red Bull getting a brilliant second place, with Bottas running up the podium, and then Verstappen in the second Red Bull in P4. So good job from those guys. Then it's an Audi 5 and 6, fantastic result, beating both of the Ferraris, who finished in 7th and P9, and then Lance Stroll getting a brilliant P8, with Sergio Perez getting points for Full Swan there in P10. Robert Kubica there in his comeback race, finishing in a very impressive P12 there, but a very good race overall, and it promises to be hopefully a very, very exciting season. And we're going to just quickly delve into the constructors standings, because obviously the race standings stay exactly the same. So looking at constructors just briefly, as you can see there, Mercedes lead the way up front, with Red Bull in second place and Audi in third place, so not too shabby there, and a pretty good start to the season. But overall, guys, that has been the first episode of the Audi Season 3 career mode here in Australia. If you guys have enjoyed it, leave a big thumbs up on the video. Like I said, if we hit 150 likes, the next episode around Bahrain will be uploaded tomorrow. So please be sure to hit that target, guys. If you have enjoyed this episode, then also subscribe to my channel for future content like this and other F1 content, with F1 2017 just around the corner. And if you haven't missed any of the videos on screen right now, then do as you go check them out if you haven't done so already. But I thank you guys ever so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.